Andrew Luing, sitting in Hong Kong, your perspective on what we saw in Beijing, a rather rare protest by China standards, this?
I think that there is a tendency for the West to be fixated on this historical event, Tiananmen Square, with the single person standing in front of the tank, as if nothing has changed since then. But the reality remains that today's China, under the Communist Party, was very, very different from what happened on Tiananmen Square so many years, decades ago. In fact, that under the tutelage of the party, the livelihood of the entire population of the Chinese people have changed miraculously. And a recent study by the Harvard Kennedy School about 6 or 9 months ago showed over the years, the Communist Party government has been known as the government best supported by its people compared with countries around the world, including the United States. In fact, multiple ranks above the United States. The studies show that as much as something like 80 to 90% of the population actually support the rule of the Communist Party because their lives have been completely changed.
No, but the fact is, one of the reasons why, Andrew, the Communist Party's regime has been as stable as it has is because of the fact that they have been able to deliver to the people of China unprecedented economic growth, unprecedented even in the history of mankind. 3 decades of sustained growth, which now seems to have its wheels coming off. Therein lies the challenge. The fact that this particular protester is protesting against COVID, he says he doesn't want any COVID tests, he wants to eat, no restrictions, he wants freedom. That is also, whether it gets voiced in this fashion as it did in this protest or not, but that is an under the surface kind of sentiment which a lot of people feel across China.
Well, sure. I mean, the pandemics and the downturn, not only in China's economy, but in the world economy, with inflation rising all over the world, has engendered a great deal of dissatisfaction worldwide, not just in China. And of course, the pandemic, with the lockdown in China, there were some people remaining, getting more and more disgruntled. But I think that in the overall scheme of things, there's still a great deal of support for the Communist Party. And of course, in spite of the skepticism and accusations of China's zero COVID policy, but I think that the government has recently gone out to explain that if the rate of death obtaining in the United States, 1% of Americans die because of the pandemic. Now, 1% of China is 4 million people, and mostly the elderly. I think that the party already explained that would be unacceptable for China, even at the cost of a slowdown of the economy. But I think that overall, there is no doubt that Xi will get his third term, because as explained, he has many levers of control, and then he's generally supported by the hierarchy, not only by the people, but within the Chinese Communist Party. The reason why he wants a third term is to take China to a higher plane. He already highlighted that China is facing unprecedented challenges and opportunities, both internally and externally. Internally, I mean, you mentioned some of the problems with demographics, with economy slowing down, and of course the pandemic. Externally, because of the ethical confrontation with the United States, and then the world's situation is getting worse with the war in Ukraine and so on and so forth. But I think that he has succeeded in rallying most of the people in China